Hello, my name is Adam, and today I will be walking you through how to use a software called AccuRIG, created by AccuCore. So this is a relatively new software. It came out about a month ago, but in some ways, I think this is actually better than Mixamo. So, yeah. This is an auto rigging software. So basically, all you have to do is take an FBX or OBJ of a model character you want to rig, and then uh, it rigs it automatically for you. So you can use like an A pose, a T pose, or scan pose. I recommend using either the A or a T pose for best results. Um, yeah. Oh, and then down here, these are all of the compatible softwares you can export the rig to. Okay, let's get started. So, pulling up the software, it says to please drag in a FBX or OBJ file. So I will just use a hawk that I helped model for my work study. Oh, right. One thing you can do is you can have multi-mesh, which is if you want your character to have a weapon, you can tell the software to ignore the weapon so the weapon doesn't bend out of shape. Um, right, okay. So the first step is to check the model to make sure you want to have this middle center line to be in the middle of your character. So you can check with the axis here on all sides, and this is good for me, so I'm going to continue. You can either press down here on the right corner, rig body, or you can press here at the number 3 to rig the body. So right now, the software is just placing all the bones for you. It does a relatively good job, but it can use some help once it's done. So once this is loaded, yeah, there we go. So you can use left mouse to rotate, right mouse to pan, and middle mouse left and right to zoom in and out or up and down. Um, yeah, so, oh, one really cool thing about this software is if you hover over one of these points, it shows where it should line up on a body. So I am going to press symmetry so that both the points kind of move together. If it's not checked, then it's just one point. Um, so, but since it's all symmetrized for this character, I'll just use symmetry. We want to move the wrists to where the wrists are actually, which is about there. And then this is like the shoulder, so I'm going to move this up a little bit. And then let's move on to the head. So for the head, I would move these up a bit. Oh, let's see. I think the neck should be about here-ish, and then this should be about right here. And then I'm going to move this forward a little bit, maybe. Yeah, so that should be relatively good for the head. You will always want this top part to be a little more forward than this neck part. And now let's move on to the legs. Okay, so Symmetry's on. I will. Actually, this isn't placed badly. I think I'm going to keep it there, but I will move this up slightly. Actually, I'll move this down a bit too. And now knees. Knees. Where are the knees? I think. Yeah, that's good placement. And then feet. Yeah, that's not bad. And then here I'll move the toes over a little bit to the side so they're more centered. Um, yeah, actually, I'll also move this up slightly. Oh, midpoint placement. Right. So with midpoint placement, depending on what side of the character you're looking at, it will always place it in the middle of the model. So for here, it's gonna place in the middle of the legs, like each leg, so it lines up. But if you like turn it to the side of the model, it's gonna jump to the center point of the model, which is in between the legs. So what you're gonna want to do, oh, wrong side, is to disable midpoint placement if you want to adjust it from the side, and then it won't jump to the middle. But when you're at the front like this, just turn it on so it places it in the middle of the leg in this instance. Uh, yeah. And then what mask does is if you want to mask out a part where you don't want the rig to really affect this part, then it'll just ignore this. So actually I'm going to mask this out, or yeah, this out. So what would happen here is there'd be a bone here, but then the rest of this would just be like one bone that's like solid. There won't be any joints between here and here. So you'd use the mask if you're using a weapon in the hand, for example. So you'd want to use the mask like right here. So anything beyond this point isn't affected by the mocap data that you apply to this character. Um, yeah. So I think this is pretty good. I am going to move on to rigging the hands now. Uh, oh, with the hands, what you can do is you can rig it with any number of fingers. So, well, up to five. So from 0 to 5. 0, you'd only want to use 0 if you don't want the fingers. And then like 5 is like standard for, I guess, human characters. But in this case, I will be using 4 fingers because with this hawk, I modeled it with 4 fingers. So right now it doesn't line up because my character doesn't have 5 fingers. But if I change to 4 fingers, it should place it better. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. So this is what it looks like. It should look like. It does need some improvement, but it's relatively it's placed a lot better than it was. So I'm just gonna follow the diagram up here in the right corner, uh, and it looks like it placed this right here a bit too far back or too far front. So I'm gonna move it up a bit, and then I will move this up a bit. And then this one here, this is good because it's at the end of the fingers, so that's fine. I'm just gonna do this. Uh, and yeah, actually I'll move this up a little too. Just move them all slightly up, except for this one. And then I'm gonna repeat the process for the rest of the fingers. So this is looking better. Yeah, yeah, better-ish. Now, if like your character had knuckles, for instance, it would auto rig the hands a lot better. But for me, it's there's not really any knuckles. It's just flat, so that's why it's not done it very well. Now with this, this shows the front of the thumb, so you want to align it with where the thumbnail would be in the direction. So this is correct now, and I will move this over a little bit. This is pretty good. Okay, so wait. No, this isn't good. Hang on. Okay, this is good. Uh, wait, no, not good yet. Hang on, bear with me. Oh no, I gotta take midpoint placement off. Okay, okay, okay. Move this. Okay, this. Okay, now this should be good. Okay, so what you want to do now is go to rig the left hand, but in this case, I am going to mirror this right hand to the left hand, so I don't have to go through the process of having to place all the points again. So I'll just press mirror to left hand and then rig left hand. And this is also placed just like the right hand. So they're both placed exactly the same. Uh, Now, for instance, if you had like a hook on one hand, like if you had a hook on this hand, but you had an actual hand here, what you'd want to do is mask it. So hang on. I'm just going to finalize character, and then I'll go back and show you what I mean. Uh, yeah, so this is the character. Um, I should put more geometry on the arms, but it's looking pretty okay so far. It's got this software has a few motion capture movements built in, so you can test the rig to see how it works, to see if you need to fix anything. And also it's got some static poses. Yeah. Yeah, so oh. Oh, hang on. I think I gotta move the elbows a bit further down the arm. The elbows are a bit long, or the forearm is a bit long. So that's okay. What you can do is go back to the body rig, just move this over a little bit, and then you can go back to check animation and it will auto it again. So this is the thing I was talking about AccuRIG being better than Mixamo. You can edit the character at any point. Like if the rig is slightly wrong, you can just adjust it, and then um, it will auto rig it for you without you having to re-upload the character. Now with this, I just basically need to add more geometry so it doesn't bend into paper thin arms. But yeah. Right. So now I will show you how if this hand was a hook and this was an actual hand, all you would have to do is press uncheck symmetry and then press mask. And then what you would do is go to hand rig. It'll place the fingers again, which in this case for the right hand, or the left hand, I mean, sorry. Uh, it'll just put no fingers. Um, yeah. Oh, I think it reset the fingers, all the fingers, sadly. but that's okay. You know how to rig the hands now. But now, if we take a look at this, he's moving his fingers on this hand, right? Yeah, he's moving his fingers here, but not on this left hand. So this hand is static. So if it was a hook, for example, or if he was holding a sword, it would be completely static and not be weirdly buggy. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to share. Oh, right. Gotta export. Oh, so you can upload the character to the AccuRIG site. Um, so it uploads the file, and then you can use many of the uh, motion capture captures that they have on that site. The one problem with that is there's only a handful of free ones. My Wi-Fi is slow, so I'm just going to cancel. But there's only a handful of free ones, and then the rest are paid for like $2.50, I think. There's like 17,000 motion capture movements you can use for that, which I think is more than Mixamo. But the upside with Mixamo is that all the motion is free. So this is this gives you a more accurate rig, but Mixamo offers more free animations to use. So depending on what you need, um, I guess you can weigh that on what software you want to use. But if you're like capturing your own motion capture, then you can just use this, and then you can apply your own motion capture onto this rig, and it should work. Okay, please cancel. Oh, it's actually uploaded. Okay, whatever. Export. So you can go export it as an FBX. I have no idea what this USD is. And then save iAvatar iClone 8. So iClone 8 is part of ActorCore. It's a different software for creating characters, but let's just go to export FBX. And then these are all the different applications you can export it for, like the target. And then, yeah, the texture. For some reason, my texture didn't actually upload for this, but that's okay. You can just apply the texture again in the software you're using. And then I would just go to export. You choose the app or the placement of where you want your export to go. In this case, I'll just put it on my desktop. So it's exported now. And now, if I open it in 3D Viewer, this is the hawk. I will try opening it in Maya now. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I imported the FBX file to Maya, and let's take a look at the rig. So I'm just going to go to wireframe here for a sec. So if you look here, this hand has the bones properly mapped to the fingers. Whereas over here, this is the hook hand. The fingers aren't lined up because, well, it's not really supposed to be connected. Um, and then let's see. It's got the leg joints. And yeah, so basically all you'd have to do is target all of these to um, proper bones in the human IK. And then if you uh, put in some motion capture data, it should play. That's how you can use the AccuRIG software to rig your own character. I hope you learned something today, and yeah, bye.